That type of level of celebrities, are they paying?
Yeah.
They are.
They're paying.
Really?
Yep.
No discounts?
LawFlip, objection, your honor. Turn the game upside down. LawFlip, objection, your honor. Turn the game upside down.
Welcome to LawFlip. It's a conversation about law, life, politics, hospitality, being in the club, and everything in between. I'm Benjy Smith with Michelle Nabati.
Hello.
So when Leo, Lizzo, LeBron want to go out, this is the man that they call. Welcome to our guest, hospitality mogul, Brian Toll. Brian Toll is the founder of the H.wood Group and is one of the biggest names in hospitality. When you see the hottest club at the Super Bowl, this is the guy. When you see the hottest club in general, this is the guy. When you see the hottest restaurants, that's him. When you want to get into that insanely impossible party at Coachella and you just can't get in, he's the reason why. So please email this episode, Slack it, text us, or text people to watch it. Share it with your miserable friends. They need to get inspired by Brian. Voice your opinion, what we're talking about. Let's flip the game upside down. Brian, we're really excited to have you. As we talked about, you're a hospitality mogul. So you own and operate the hottest clubs, bars, and parties in the world, some of which are Bootsy Bellows, Poppy, The Nice Guy, Delilah, just to name a few. Your dad was a lawyer. How did you avoid this, what we do, and do what you do?
So my mom was also a lawyer, and my grandfather was a lawyer. My uncle, my whole family was lawyers.
How did you not go down
most of them
this
retired.
Crazy world?
I think after seeing them and how much they hated it, I knew that it was not for me. I always liked business more than I liked kind of the law side of things, if that makes sense.
And why hospitality?
Hospitality I fell into. I think even at a young age, I like kind of the idea of running a company, and hospitality just kind of made sense from sort of how we started doing parties and doing events and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it grew into a business.
I used to go to I went to Guys and Dolls and like all of your parties back 20 years ago when I was like, or maybe like 18 years ago when I was like 18. And you always threw the best parties, always had the coolest people. And it was just a fun vibe. How did you go from, or what was it like changing from sort of promoter to owner?
I think that was a big transition. I mean, promoting, you could kind of make your own schedule. I would be at the gym all day. I'd be calling people to come out and then throw the party at night. And that's kind of it. Repeat that, a couple times a week. But as I started to get older, I started to think like, this isn't really going to lead anywhere. And I didn't want to be 30 or 40 years old just promoting nightclubs. And so, my current partner, John, kind of approached.
Did your parents give you shit?
They still give me shit. Yeah.
They still give you
Really?
shit?
Yeah. My grandma still wants to know when I'm going to law school or business school.
Oh my God.
My brother went to med school, so
yeah.
It's in the
So your brother's like the what do they call him? McDreamy?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
He's like on all the billboards wearing scrubs and stuff.
Yep.
So okay, so you said your partner John.
Yeah, he basically approached me. He was working for DJ AM at the time, and they had a club called LAX in Hollywood. And he said, you do the best parties. We know so many of the same people. We both grew up in LA. He said, why don't we make the step and put some money in and let's open a place together and kind of push everyone to one place.
And what year was that?
That was 2006. We started to raise money.
Okay.
And that was for the original H.wood.
So I always thought that you were like basically crushing it all the way through from the time that I've known you for 20 years plus. But I've sort of recently come to find out that you really weren't doing it as well as you would have liked until like 2012. What was going on before 2012?
Yeah, I would say when I was promoting, I was crushing. I was young and it was easy, and I kind of had a rhythm down and knew exactly how to bring people to an event or a party or a concert or whatever it may have been. So I was really successful at that, and I kind of gave up the company that I started. I had 3 or 4 employees at the time, kind of walked away from it to own a venue. And I think just didn't really understand how to operate a place. And so John and I both knew how to bring people. H.wood was packed. We had the tea room next door packed. We had great celebrities and great press, but it just didn't translate to money. We comped too many drinks and things to our friends. At the time, we thought it was great to have 20 different investors who would all run around town and say it was their place and bring their friends. The problem was they all wanted the best table on the best night for free. So we didn't really understand how to operate, didn't really understand food cost and pour cost and labor cost and all of those things. So, the first venture was pretty unsuccessful.
How did you deal with the struggle?
It was tough. We were out of business essentially after 6 months. So we had to go to our friends and our family at the time and say, hey, we have a packed place. We're just not making money. And we had to take in some loans after 6 months, which is never good at your first bar or nightclub. So
from 2006 to 2012, it was just a bunch of trying and like failing over and over.
I would say not a little bit of both. The first place opened in 2007 or 8. So we started raising money in 6. So 2008, h.wood just never made money. Ended up getting in a huge legal dispute with our landlord because we were getting noise complaints. It finally,
damn lawyers.
Yeah, and then the landlord started coming saying, "Hey, this is the LAPD is calling us." The city ended up revoking our valet permit, so we had to stop the valet at midnight, which is like death to anything nightlife. We were declared a public nuisance. And so
your parents must have been
they
really
love that.
then.
They love that. And then, but we kind of stuck with it, and we were already kind of raising money for our second place, which was Las Palmas, which opened in about 2010. That one was busy, but same thing, never really did sort of the numbers and money we thought it would do.
And what was the turning point?
I think at that point we said, we're kind of from the West Side. Our friends are from there. People don't want to drive to Hollywood anymore. There's just too much in Hollywood. It was, not what it was a few years earlier. And we said, if we're going to do this anymore, we need to focus to that part of town. So we took over Shore Bar and built that in 2012, as you said, and Bootsy Bellows in 2012. And I think being on that part, that was a huge year. Yeah. Being on that part of town really helped, and having people as part of the team that understood how to operate the place and, really kind of showed us how to make money. The marketing side, we obviously understood, but I think having the right people involved really helped.
What about the risk? So you had been taking risks, back from when you graduated college, but you had these, for lack of better words, losses or struggles.
Yep.
How did you continue to feel comfortable taking the risk and also having other people buy into this risk?
It's funny, at the time, it didn't seem like a risk. I just liked doing it, and it felt, comfortable throwing the parties and opening the club. And we always thought we would be successful. So it didn't really seem like a risk. Looking back, it's pretty crazy to ask people
so you
for
really
money.
Didn't think about it as a risk then?
No.
Okay, so
I never felt bad asking people for the money or going to friends and family. We really believed it was going to be successful. At 24, 25 years old, just didn't know any better.
That's incredible. So obviously, fast forward 2020. I mean, I don't know what you don't have your hands in, because it seems like you literally do everything. You do branding, you do promotion, you do music, you represent some artists, you do the Super Bowl party, you do Coachella. I can't, it's very hard for me to understand. Like, I find myself to be extremely busy working nonstop, and I don't understand how you could have your hands in this many things. You're in this industry that carries such a high failure rate. What do you attribute to your success in doing these varied projects?
I think a combo of hard work, obviously. I mean, we work every day. I'm out about 4 nights a week on top of in the office every day. So hard work. I think some of it is kind of luck and timing, and we fell on Bootsy Bellows at the right time and being in West Hollywood and right when bottle service was sort of at its peak in LA. So I think that sort of helped. I think we really know the right group of people that have stuck with us. I have so many people that tell me all the time, I remember coming to the party at Guys and Dolls or at this club or that club. So a lot of the people, and now they're just sending friends or sending groups of people. And so I think we have like a loyal following, if that makes sense. We've just been operating in LA for so many years.
If you were going to think of your business as a bunch of profit centers, what are the areas that you like to focus on that bring in the most money, or that you find to be the most valuable to the business?
I think we have 3. I would say restaurants, nightlife, and then private events.
The examples of the private events are things like Coachella and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Those are like big kind of tentpole pop-ups that we do every year. But then we also get hired by companies to do private events. So like Dick Clark Productions is a client of ours. So we do the Billboard Awards, we do the Golden Globe party for them.
Wow.
We do the American Music Awards party for them. So companies like that. And then we work with like McDonald's and PacSun, and they kind of brands like that hire us to do sort of experiential.
Not only do
for
the
them.
event planning, but they know that you're going to bring like the
Correct.
top-notch people there.
Yep.
So I saw that you did that huge event at the Super Bowl this year in Miami with Kevin Hart was hosting it and
Yep.
Post Malone was performing. I know you can't give the details of like what those deals look like to get a Kevin Hart, to get a Post Malone in terms of the numbers. What's the nature of the deal?
Essentially, we're paying them to perform. And so they have like Post Malone was exclusive to us for the weekend. He had to do 2 social media posts. He had to do at least a 30-minute set. And then, you know, he gets a fee. We cover the travel and all
And
that
there's
kind of
enough money to go around to cover that and obviously make money because they're just drawing such huge crowds.
Exactly. So we sell tables, we sold tickets, and then we have sponsors as well.
It's incredible. So
Like that in itself is a massive risk just in that party. I mean, we have to start paying for things and set the party up and pay for the production well before you're starting to sell
how much
tickets.
is that? How much, like a ballpark, how much is it to put on that production?
I think the total party with performances and production and food and everything was about $1 million.
Wow. That brings me to like scaling. How many employees does your company have?
About 600. And we're opening in Vegas in about 2 months, and there'll be about another 100 just in Vegas. So
Incredible. Did you ever envision having 600 employees?
never.
But like, I imagine that you don't really wake up thinking I got 600 employees. You wake up thinking I just got to go bust my butt and make it happen.
Exactly.
What are the keys to scaling effectively?
I think having a good team in place. I mean, we've sort of grown at a nice pace and started with 1 accountant, and then you go to 2 and 3 and 4, and same in operations. I think if you grow too fast, then things just start to fall apart.
And why did you expand outside of LA?
I think we sort of have done all we care to accomplish here. As we open each new restaurant, we're just competing with ourselves.
Yeah.
The hard part about our business is it's kind of based on the same kind of group of people and friends and celebrities. And so it's hard to scale in the same city. It's not like we're opening Chipotle's where like, you know, it's easy. You can have 10 in the few city blocks.
Kim Kardashian can only go to one club a night.
Exactly right.
And then when you're delegating, so you're building out, you're building here, you're building in Vegas, you're
Yep.
building in Cabo, you're building in Aspen.
Yep.
Delegation, like, so let's say I know you got married a few years ago. You're about to walk down the aisle and you get a text message from Leo or Brad Pitt saying, I need to have my whole crew taken care of tonight. And you know that you can't personally service the thing. How do you have confidence knowing that you're going down the aisle, that they're getting taken care of?
I think our team is trained really well. So we have great customer development people that I would feel comfortable putting anyone on text with saying, whoever it is, so-and-so, please take care of Leo or Brad. They're coming in. Our managers understand the business now. Our operations people understand it. So those kinds of people hit us up so often now that nothing is like that crazy.
What's the key to building the relationships? Because I want to talk to you about your outside relationships, but the relationships in your business with your employees, with your staff. What are you doing to train them and to make sure that you have that level of confidence in them? Because it's hard. People have
I think it's been built over time, and it really is like an h.wood family. And with a lot of our customer development people and our ops people, we spend so much time together. They're in the office during the day. I'll see them when I go out to dinner at Nice Guy or Delilah, or if I'm going to Poppy or Bootsy after. We travel together. A bunch of us were just at the Super Bowl. We all go to Coachella. We'll go to Paris Fashion Week, and I think you really build good bonds.
It sounds like my travel schedule. No, it doesn't. That's incredible. So, okay, I want to know about your outside relationships outside of your company. I've always watched this and thought it was incredible. The most successful group of friends I think I've ever seen. How did this ridiculously successful group of friends come about?
What's crazy is I'm still really close, like with my best friends are people that were randomly my roommates at USC.
Like D. Murphy and Andres Esquieta.
He's less successful, but yeah. Andres.
And he didn't come on this podcast first, so he has to get penalized.
He has less to talk about. Yeah, Andres and D were my roommates in college.
Great guys.
And, drama then became, so those are 3 of my close friends.
Uh-huh.
I think just being in this business, you sort of hang out with them and then their friends and friends of friends, and the circle kind of grows and grows. Just
okay,
being
but
in
that's not
hospitality.
that doesn't make it easy for our audience because their circles don't include the most successful group of friends in the world. What can the people at home do to create the greatest, most successful group of friends?
I think networking is key. I have to do it because we have our own places and I have to be there. So I constantly am meeting new people, and someone will be at dinner and say, oh, you should meet my friend here. He's the whatever president of this or vice president of that. I think just putting yourself out there and networking is
how do you actually
crucial.
so is it mostly in person, or is it like getting introduced to people by email through like warm leads to your friends? Is it really just being out there?
I'd say it's both. It happens on a daily basis. I'll run into people at an event or at dinner or somewhere saying, I was
people
just
are
thinking of you, like I'm going to connect you with so-and-so, and it just kind of happens organically.
Plus you have like the greatest product to sell.
I think that for sure helps.
I mean, you have such a great product. You have hospitality, you have food and liquor. I think that's
right.
You have something
and
people want.
It's funny. I'll post a flyer for whatever the event might be, our Coachella party with Revolve. People I haven't heard from in 10 years will email or text me saying, I hope this is still your number, but I really would love to get this person into your party.
Dude, don't blow me up like that.
Yeah, how do you say no to those people?
I do it politely. Some events, it's, an easy thing to say no because I really can't bring too many people. Others, kind of see who the person is or where they work. If they're saying, hey, it's my Aunt Tina, then that's much easier to say no than, hey, it's the, president of Spotify or whatever it might be.
Damn.
The president of LawFlip.
President of LawFlip is hitting you up. So, yeah. So in terms of celebrities, how or when did A-list celebrities start to become part of your world?
I think a little bit when I was promoting, and I think a lot of our success was contributed, when we first opened h.wood in the tea room, to Katy Perry being there a lot. This was like 2007 at like the peak of her, blowing up.
I Kissed a Girl.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
exactly.
Was that her
all
I
that.
Kissed a Girl face?
So she used to come out all the time. Lindsay Lohan used to be there all the time, and Paris Hilton, like those people being there, and we were friends with them. They wanted to support us, and I think kind of started back then.
That's great. So, okay, I'm Drake. I mean, not literally, but hypothetically, I'm Drake. What is my experience from the time I enter one of your venues to the time I leave? Is it just like versus common population, like general population?
Versus me.
Versus us, common population. What is the difference in the experience?
So someone like Drake, who we deal with a lot, either he or his manager or his assistant, someone will reach out to us and say, we're coming in, we want this section roped off. Please have these bottles out on the table to start. We're coming in the back door. We don't want paparazzi. And they really get like the royal treatment.
Amazing. And then are they paying are like that type of level of celebrities? Are they paying?
Yeah,
they are.
They're paying.
Really?
Yep.
No discounts?
I mean, there's a few exceptions where they're not, but the majority of them are definitely paying.
What do you do with badly behaved VIPs?
We've had this happen a few times. You can probably Google some articles. I'm in lawsuits with people over celebrities misbehaving. It's bad. You don't know what's going to happen ahead of time. It's really hard to like ban a celebrity, but yeah, they like to have fun just like everybody else.
Okay, so one of these celebrities does something that puts you in a jam. How do you deal with it diplomatically? Because you need that person coming back to the club. There's
been situations where we've had to ban them, but it's really bad. They've done bad things to employees, and
you can't
mess around with that. There's others that we've said like, stay away for a while. This is making us look bad.
Yeah.
And there's others that have done things and we just say, it's okay, don't worry about it. Come back tomorrow. Like, it sort of depends on the incident, I think.
What are some of the foundational techniques you use to win on a day-to-day basis? Because you've got a huge world and there's got to be some things that you do every single day that make you successful.
I'm extremely organized. So I make sure I check every text, every email, every WhatsApp, every whatever I'm getting. We work on Teams. I respond to everything.
So when you're not ready to respond to a text, you don't open it up because then it's hard to
or I have my phone down if I'm in a meeting.
Got it.
But I like crazy about it. I like to go through everything and make sure I really know what's going on. So I like to be CC'd on emails even if I'm not really speaking. I like to know everything.
I know somebody like that.
Yes. That is, I know someone like that too. And you're looking right at him. So, okay. How do you find the balance with all of this insanity going on? How do you find the balance?
That's the hardest part. I think I could easily be out every night. It's getting harder and harder just because I get exhausted, but finding that balance, I think, is also the key to success, because you have to take a step away sometimes and really see what we have and what's working and what's not. And if you're just sort of in the trenches every night, you sort of lose sight of that. When I go to dinner, I prefer to be in my restaurants, and that way I get to see what's going on.
And get a free dinner.
Right. I like being in our places. So a lot of times I don't, but when I'm there, I also feel like I'm working a bit. So it's hard to get that balance. I like to travel.
Yeah.
But when I'm out of the town, then I really feel like I'm away.
And what keeps you motivated? Like, are you the type of person that at some point wants to retire, or do you want to keep on building and building and building?
I think at some point, I obviously would love to retire. Right now, I think we're building something really special. We need to get a couple of venues open in Vegas. We would love to do New York and Miami. Would love to do possibly London. I think we have some goals we wish to accomplish prior to me retiring. We'd love to get into hotels. There's kind of a bunch of things we'd like to do first.
Okay, let's go to deals of the week. So my deal of the week is get out to the club. Now, you're not going to be treated like VIP at one of Brian's venues unless you know him and you're either an A-list star or you're doing something cool. But even being in general pop at one of his venues, you're still going to have a great time. And you're not too old. You could still get out there, dance a little bit. Yep. We could have a good time. So my recommendation is get out to the club, get out to Brian Toll's venues. What's yours, Michelle?
Okay, guys, my deal of the week is everybody should go get chlorophyll drops.
Chlorophyll drops.
So chlorophyll drops are drops that you put into your water. You put like 18 drops or 30 drops, and basically they're green algae. It's like green algae from the ocean, and it heals your skin. All my acne went away because of it, and it's the best thing. And I think everybody should get it, including you and including you.
Okay.
All of our legal.
We should go after this.
I'm down.
Okay.
I'm 100% down.
Yes.
Okay, Brian, what is your deal of the week?
My deal of the week is don't go to the clubs, stay in and watch Narcos season 2, because it's really great.
That sounds good. I like that recommendation. Okay, we are moving on to the legal tip of the week. We are at the legal tip of the week. So, Smith & Benowitz, I think we finally figured out who they are. They're a very cool law firm. It's us. Let's just be honest. It's us. We've been saying that it's another firm. Finally, we're admitting it. It's us. We do personal injury, employment, and class actions. And we want to know, Brian, what is your advice on how to deal with lawyers as an entrepreneur?
I think we've had to learn kind of how to split time and who handles kind of the legal in our company. And once we did that, it's been smoother. And I also think you need lawyers that really understand your business, because each business is so different. And even from us, what happens in the restaurants with employees is so different from in the nightclubs. In the nightclubs, you have customers grabbing servers. They're in kind of a little bit more scandalous outfits. The claims there are very different from in a restaurant.
And you got to be well insured.
We are well insured. But having a lawyer that really understands your needs and knows kind of what cases are frivolous and which ones are worth fighting, and that kind of thing.
That makes sense. Michelle, what's your legal tip of the week?
Unless you are literally running out of time, like tomorrow or within a few days, to file a claim against your employer, you should not file anything with the DFEH or EEOC without first talking to an attorney or consulting an attorney, because sometimes before you bring a case in court, you need to go through an agency. And if you don't consult your attorney, it can get kind of really tricky and you might be working against yourself. And it's basically like starting a surgery without the surgeon coming into the office.
That's something we want to avoid.
Yeah.
No surgeries without surgeons. Okay. And then my legal tip of the week is when you file a class or an employment or a personal injury case, you have to expect that the case could go on for years and years. And the other point is you should not be counting your money. You should not be assuming that this is going to result in some windfall for you. Those are my 2 legal tips of the week. You got 2 for 1 this week. Brian, Michelle, We all know it's annoying when you sign up for a subscription, right? And they ask you for a credit card.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be great if you never had to submit your actual credit card number or block the merchant from charging you until you approve it?
That's how it should be, Benjy.
Well, Michelle, that's how it is. With Rock Paper, you create a proxy credit card on demand that's linked to your actual credit card or debit card. The merchant can only charge you when you say so, and you don't have to give your credit card to another third party. It's that simple.
That sounds like a no-brainer.
Agreed. In fact, I moved all of our subscriptions over to Rock Paper. No longer do I need to fear free trials. So it's rockpaper.com/LawFlip. Get Rock Paper, spend wisely, join the movement. Let's go. Brian, it's been incredible to watch your success over the years. You went from being a great promoter to an incredible business owner. I think we're all inspired by your story. First of all, tell us where we could find you.
Sure. You can see all my venues at h.woodgroup.com. And then I'm at Brian Toll on Instagram.
Cool. Okay, so today we learned, even though all the people in your family are lawyers, you should not become a lawyer.
Correct.
That's one thing. The next thing is, it's very hard to balance work and play, but it's very cool when you own your own nightclubs and dinner spots because you could eat for free and drink for free. You got to be careful of crazy VIPs. They could basically ruin your entire business. Leo's got to take care of himself and behave. And we have to go out to the club, dance, have a good time, drink, not too much, but keep the party going. Thank you so much, Brian. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week. Let's go.
LawFlip, objection, Your Honor. Turn the game upside down. LawFlip, objection, Your Honor. Turn the game upside down. Okay, so Ariane, they're asking where they could find us. So for LawFlip, it's at LawFlip and LawFlip.com. For Smith & Benowitz, our law firm, which does personal injury, employment, and class actions, you can find us at Smith Benowitz and SmithBenowitz.com. For the personal stuff, like where you're really going to find the juicy stuff, at Benjy Smith and BenjySmith.com. At Wages Guru and LewisBenowitz.com for Lewis. Oh, so LawFlip is produced, directed, and edited by the young legend Ariane Tabibi, visual effects and compositions by another young legend, Oren Azad. Intro music provided by Pen Practice. Pen Practice, what is it? Premium instrumentals for upcoming artists by the music industry's top producers. For more info, visit penpracticemusic.com. I had so much fun recording the intro song with my man Hilton Deuce Wright. Looking forward to hearing more and more from Pen Practice. So the LawFlip identity, this hot logo that you're looking at, created by Garrett Whiston and Travis Nagel. Special thank you to Shai and Seth from the Horwitz Marketing Agency. A huge thank you to Aaron and Vanessa from Smith & Benowitz for endlessly dealing with all of our podcast bullshit. And lastly, a huge thank you to our beautiful wives, Julie and Lisa, for supporting our vision, and all the love to all of our 4 boys combined. Disclaimer, this podcast is made available by Smith & Benowitz for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is only intended to provide general information and opinions about legal and other concepts, and is not intended to be used as a source of legal advice or relied on for legal advice. By listening to this podcast, you understand that no attorney-client relationship is being formed between you and Smith & Benowitz or any of its attorneys. This podcast should not be used as a substitute for competent legal advice from a licensed professional attorney in your state.